Well, I'm Zzcupid, and I just mess around on VRChat. I guess I technically troll, after all, but I just kind of mess around.
What inspired you to start doing this?
Um, Honestly, just randomly one day, I'm like a huge Gmod player. All started on like Gmod, and I was just like, these interactions that I have on these servers are so funny because I used to like purposely set up the most stupid scenario you could think of, and I was like, let me just like start recording it. And I saw TikTok was blowing up at the time. I hated it, but I was like, all right, let me just post a Gmod clip to TikTok. And my first like 3 videos got almost 1 million views on TikTok. So I was like, all right, maybe I should just start now posting YouTube videos. And that's how it got started. And then VRChat. As for like starting VRChat, I just randomly hopped on one day. Like there was really nothing behind it. I saw it in the store because it popped up on my page, and I was like, let me give this a shot, whatever this game is. And then the first video back did bananas on it. So I was like, maybe I'll start playing this.
So what were your initial experiences like when you first started?
VRChat?
Yes.
VRChat. Holy crap. I hikey got mad anxiety walking into the first ever room. I was like, oh my God, this is like so weird. I was like, it's just like a dystopia. I felt like I was in Ready Player One. All these people just like, and I was just like, holy crap. I just kind of like sat in there and I was like, dude, this is weird. Like, I'm feeling mad uncomfortable. It's like, it's technically the same thing as say like a Gmod server, but for some reason it just felt like so much more weird. Wow.
So how did you decide on your specific style of content creation? Did that evolve naturally, or was it a conscious choice?
Definitely just evolve naturally. Just more refined. I like being chaotic, so my style has always been like just go and cause absolute chaos and confusion. So it's just like over the year I don't even know if not a solid year, but like a couple months I've been doing this. I just was like, all right, let's just get more and more chaotic and just cause mayhem.
So are there any themes or messages you're trying to convey through your videos?
I would say like the main one is it just shows people literally just go out there and have fun. Like just play a video game for fun. Like, and if you're funny, right? And you want to do like a content creation, the people will come. You just like there's no I really believe there's no rhyme or rhythm. I mean, you could do stuff I guess to typically try to get edges, but just literally get on the game, have fun, and yeah, that's it. Sounds corny, but
No, it's fine. So which type of character or persona do you portray when you're doing these videos? Is it yourself? Is it someone else entirely?
I would say for the most part, it's myself. It's a lot of just like, you know, comedic timings and more like just randomness. Like I would say the great word for it is just brain rot. I would consider myself like brain rot person. I'm not that far off of a person. If you like ever met me in real life, it's pretty 1-to-1. I'll just like say some stupid shit and you'll just be like, why'd you just say that? And I'm like, I don't know. So it's pretty accurate with a little more upscaled at times, a little more crazy, but for the most part it's pretty much the same. Like it represents myself in real life.
So what is your editing process like? How do you choose which clips to include and which clips to not include?
So at the beginning, I was really picky. I would have like a 3-hour long footage and not even be able to get like 8 minutes out of it. So at the beginning, I was really picky, but now I'm just like, I try to like cut less and just cut out like the dead spaces of air where like no one's talking or just went quiet. So I try to just always make sure someone's talking and something's going on. Leave a lot more in, even if I might not think it's funny. A lot of other people tend to think it's funny. So I just gotta like recognize that.
So are there any specific VRChat worlds you prefer to make videos in, and why?
Ooh. That's a good one. Although it's not shown as much in the videos, So far, I do like the game worlds. I think the game worlds are hilarious because just like the way the games are made in VRChat, there's just so much room to just like cause chaos. So it's definitely like the most fun if I just go in some random game world, and like the chef one is probably one of my favorite ones. I just go in and I'm like super serious. I was like, we got to get this done. We got to get this order out. So I would say like the game worlds are probably my favorites.
So what technical tools or software do you use for recording and editing your videos?
Oh God, I'm gonna get roasted on this one, but you know maybe they'll sponsor me. But Filmora, I use Filmora because when I first started up, it was like $50, and I didn't have a lot of money, so I was like, all right, dude, $50 for like, and I hated pay. I hate monthly stuff, so I was like, $50 lifetime license. Here we go, and I still use it because you know, after all, I don't put that many crazy effects in my videos. It's a lot just like things. So I use Filmora to edit, and I used to use NVIDIA to record, but ever since like sometimes my computer crashes and it corrupts the NVIDIA files, so I use OBS now because I can get like 7 different audio tracks here to adjust levels.
What kind of feedback do you typically receive from your audience?
They're goated because like I never like comments in my like held for review section. It's always just positive, and I'm a big like I do think like a lot of this stuff is, like I said, just for fun. I was like, a lot of it is positive. Like, let's say I walk up, I call someone fat. We're laughing about it. It's not like I'm actually calling them fat. And even if they were, I don't give a fuck. So, like, you know, a lot of it, I think people sense that. So there's actually a lot of positivity feedback, which is really nice because no one likes to deal with the negative stuff.
So how does that audience feedback influence your content creation?
Keeps me going. Every time I see a comment saying like, "Dude, this is the funniest video I ever watched," it literally just like lights a fuse, and I was like, "All right, I'm gonna go record some more." I'm always like snooping in the comments, and I'm just like, "All right," I just see someone that's just like, "Dude, this is hilarious," and I'm like, "All right, maybe I wasn't feeling like recording today. That just gave me it. I'm gonna go in record. I'm gonna go in edit and do something actually like productive."
Ever received comments from the people you troll?
Like actually a lot. I do I mean, especially with Gmod, VRChat, it's a little more rare, but VRChat, I definitely like see people that say like, "Oh, yo, I was in your video." But recently, in a lot of my videos, I found out like how to hide their names, just in case, you know, not everyone wants to be like put in a video. So found a way to like, for the most part, hide their names. So maybe they might not comment it if their name's not out there. But I do see people time to time be like, "Yo, I was in that video. That was me," and I think it's pretty funny.
So how do you navigate through the community dynamics within VRChat? I'm talking about the VRChat families, the phantom sets, the phantom touch players. I'm talking about age regressors, disorder fakers, all of the sorts.
Difficult than ever. I mean, it is just a smash everything. I would have to say I haven't ran into the Phantom Sense stuff yet. I hear a lot about it, but I don't honestly. I just I don't know how to explain it. It's just kind of like it's just normal, I guess. The more you just play it, it's just like, all right, this all makes sense. I'm in a daycare with like 7 other grown adults trying to be babies. So I was like, all right. First, it's a little bit of a shocker, but then you're like, all right, I guess this is what we're doing. So a little bit of a shock.
So how do you deal with players who might take trolling too seriously? They might start breaking down crying or maybe mud dumping.
So I've never had someone like actually like cry or anything because like I said, I feel like I would say I'm more on the lighthearted side. Like, you know, people sense it's just like a big joke. But so I haven't had to deal with that, but I did deal with this. I will never upload this footage because, you know, I get when stuff's personal, but I joined this random wood server, walking out in the woods. Some dude was chasing some girl. Stop, stop. And I was like, yo, what's going on? And she just trauma dumped the life story on me. And I just was like, boy, that was, that footage is either deleted or buried because, you know, I get what's personal is personal. But yeah, that was pretty interesting. That was pretty weird. I was just like, how you say this to someone random online?
Share a moment where a situation played out perfectly for one of your videos, a moment where you didn't have to even say a word, or if you did say a word, maybe it was 1 or 2 words.
Ooh, I would have to say that's my biggest video. When I this was my biggest video and first video was actually my first day on VRChat, right? And it's all funny how it worked out. So it was my first day on VRChat. I wasn't aware of the Five Nights at Freddy's thing they got going on. I had no clue it existed. I was just like, yo, this is Five Nights at Freddy's. I like that horror game. So I joined it, and then I walked in on like, you know what I walked in on. And I was just like, video just mainly consisted of me like just laughing because there was not much to say. I was just observing what was going on around me, and I was like, holy crap, they're not lying. This is a real thing that happens.
The most outrageous reaction you've ever received while trolling? Someone just went so mad, so crazy, you're like, wow.
I would have to say another one of my older videos, there was this guy where all I did was I kept claiming he was a scientist, and he was screaming at the top of his lungs that he wasn't a scientist. I don't know why it bothered him so much. I would be flattered if someone called me a scientist, but that one was pretty weird. Yeah, that guy he was screaming at the top of his lungs. I was like, holy crap.
Any specific moments in your videos that you think resonates most with your audience?
That's actually, I would say, I hope it's mostly just like, I wouldn't say like quick comebacks, but just like my side chirps that like I somehow come up with, like sometimes just on the fly. I just say something, I'm like, I just think of that within like 3 seconds. And also, what I like is my biggest feature, I try to show it a lot, is just like my persistence. Like I will sit there and say the same thing to someone for hours and not get bored. So I feel like, that could resonate a lot with them, because it is a trend in a lot of my videos. I might sit there and just say something to someone over and over and over again.
How do you define success for your channel? Is it the most views, the comments, maybe the best editing, or the best interactions, or something else entirely?
Another bomb on you. I think it's the like to dislike. If I on a lot of these videos, I'm getting like 1 dislike for like 437 likes. That speaks success to me, because people are liking it. It doesn't matter if it's got like a little amount of views. If most all the views are liking the video and no one's disliking, that's success to me. I don't really care about the numbers or anything. And it just, I think seeing how much people like just show they like the video with the thumbs up, and not a lot of people dislike that, I think that could measure us pretty well.
What challenges have you faced as a VRChat trolling content creator?
I would say the creativity, as crazy as that sounds, like coming up with something fresh, because there's so many good YouTubers, VR trolling YouTubers out there doing their own thing. So like, you could, but you want to just try to be original and try to like think of something new that no one's seen before. That's a pretty big, I would say, challenge.
Are there any lines you won't cross in your trolling, and why?
Definitely like the trauma dumping stuff. Like, I'm not going to air someone's personal information out. I'll try to censor a lot of it. And I feel like this is an obvious one, but like racism, like, you'll hear it sometimes throughout the video. Like, but I'm certainly not going to go out there and be racist as a form of comedy or at all. But yeah, I would say like personal details, borderline harassment. That's another one. I'm not going to follow, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to like, after they block me, I'm not going to try to go out of my way to like get back in contact with them. I was like, all right, that scenario is over with. I was like, it is what it is.
What messages do you hope viewers take away from your videos?
The record button and just post you and your friends, or you just doing whatever, because it could work. There's no reason not to. And you don't have to like commit your whole life to it. If you want to upload once a year, do once a year. I would say, get inspired by it. I'm literally just a normal dude, as are everyone else who's doing this. So there's nothing stopping you from do it too.
Address the mental health aspect of VRChat and its community.
I have to say, I've definitely seen that's like a big part in there. There's a lot of people there, and I guess I don't really think too much of it. I'm not gonna like, again, I guess that like goes with like the line I won't cross. I'm not gonna make fun of someone or go on them because of a mental illness. So that's definitely like a line I won't cross. But yeah, I was like, if they're chilling and they're okay being out there and they can handle obviously like people like me and other trollers coming around every once in a while, I was like, you're chilling.
So we've talked about a lot of types of players. Have you ever encountered very serious topics during trolling, other than the ones mentioned before?
I don't think I've really ever gotten like, it's like that one, like you said, that one mentioned before. I don't think I ever really gotten anything like serious. I was like, I haven't seen anything serious so far.
How has your content evolved since you started?
I would say the audio was a huge one because, like I said, I have more audio tracks. So it's a little more refined that way. I'm learning the comedic timing's better, and I used to always like cut out my laugh, but it seems like a lot of people like my ridiculous laugh, so I leave that in a little more. And it's like, I take whatever people say they like, and I leave more of that in, and I think it's just become refined more overall and more polished. Especially the thumbnails. You should see my old thumbnails. Oh my god, they were bad.
Do you think the landscape of VRChat trolling will change in the future, or is it stagnant?
I think personally, as for VRChat trolling, I think there isn't like I think it will stay kind of the same. There's only like unless the game changes a lot, there's only so much you could do on it, and depending if it gets more popular or less popular, I personally think it's gonna fade out. Then with like you got a while left, but I think it will fade out.
Are there any other creators you look up to or draw inspiration from?
I have to say, I think I was very unaware of other people in the community from VRChat and from Gmod. I guess I just never like really paid attention to anyone else in the community. So, but more recently, I've definitely been like talking with actually more creators and like connecting with them. I have to say, one of the chillest ones I met is Ratgrave. He's awesome. Yeah, I would say he's definitely. I mean, I've seen his growth too. Like lately, has definitely been inspiring to me. I mean, this guy is going absolutely bananas right now, and credit to him. He deserves it.
What do you enjoy most about VRChat?
Social aspect of it, just going up to random people, shooting the shit, or just like the crazy scenarios that can stem from some of it. Is definitely like always just fun to be a part of.
Have your experiences in VRChat changed your perspective on online communities as a whole?
Um, hmm. I would say, I mean, every online community's got their different things, and I would say though, uh, hmm, yeah, I don't know. That's a hard one. I guess it really hasn't changed too much. I mean, like I said, the initial shock, the start of seeing like, wow, all this stuff's going on. I would say is a bit was a bit much, but other than that, I was like, you know, I didn't expect too much from it.
How do you balance your online persona with your real life identity?
um, like I said, I think it's pretty accurate to how I am in real life. I'll 99% of the stuff I do and say on the game, I will do and say in real life. And yeah, so it's not that hard to balance that much.
So what are your goals for the future of your channel that you're willing to share here? Any future projects or ideas?
Um, I definitely want a little more variety. I as crazy as it sounds, in the future, I want to bring in like maybe content and start doing more stuff like that. But I mean, just diversify and make it so I'm able to like hop around to games and make it so everyone's like, oh, dude, he uploaded this game this week, or it gives someone a little more to look forward to than just like VRChat. But definitely, yeah, get more of a real life personality and connect it more with like real life than online. But that's far out.
So what advice would you give to someone who's willing to start a channel and do VRChat trolling or just trolling in other games?
I would say keep it consistent. Like I said, as hard as it could be, it's better to upload once every 2 weeks than sometimes what I do, which is once every 3 months. So definitely keep consistent. Uh, don't cross a lot of lines. Like we were talking about earlier, I don't think you should get too toxic because you want to have some fun with it. And just if you're concerned about, oh, it only got 5 views on this, just wipe that out of your mind. It only takes one video to just get a little bit of traction for you to start rolling.
So, what do you think makes a successful VR chat trolling video? We talk about the success of the channel, but what about a video in specific before it's even uploaded? What makes it successful?
I would say how much it hooks someone in. So what you're doing in it, how interesting that is to watch, how interesting what's going around to watch. And I mentioned this before, the thumbnails and titles are also huge. I didn't think they were, as crazy as it sounds, that big of a thing until like I started messing around with some stuff. I'm like, wow, it can change a lot. Like it can change a lot in your video if you just try to fine tune it. So those are the biggest things.
So, how do you feel about the future of trolling, not in VR chat only, but in other places like GTA, Red Dead Redemption, Meta? All these games seem to be having more and more functions that make it harder and harder for people to troll. For example, Red Dead Redemption, if you get banned on a server, it takes you like a billion years to even get back on.
Yeah, I was gonna say definitely a lot of the tools that these servers are using will make it harder and harder for you to accomplish like whatever you want to accomplish. But I do think I'm a big 5M person. I have done a lot on 5M. I haven't uploaded it, but I've just I've enjoyed going around on 5 and creating those goofy scenarios. I think a lot of it is for the future, since all these tools and people are having more short fuses, you want to tone it back a little. You don't want to be as brunt, so you want to tone it back a little, but still accomplish what you want. But I feel like the future is pretty bright in all games because I don't know if you know that much about like the 5M and stuff, but like Rockstar bought 5M a while ago, and with GTA 6 around the corner, even if it's 2 years out when they drop the 5M stuff, now that they have control over it, I think that's just an egg waiting to be cracked open. It's going to be absolutely huge on there to troll.
So, is there anything you'd like to change, if anything at all, about the VR chat experience?
In general, for everyone's experience, it's hard to call for everyone, but for myself, if I were to change the VR chat experience for myself, it would definitely be a lot of this is a very big topic in this community, but like the age restrictions and stuff, like on how it's easy for like a kid to see like some of the stuff that goes on there. That's probably like the biggest thing I would change. I think there does need to be something done about like verifying a certain age rather than like standing at a door being like, what's your age? And some like 12-year-old saying like, yeah, I'm 22, and they're just like, okay. It's not very hard to bypass their advanced security system in the front there.
So, are there any misconceptions about VR chat trolling that you would like to clarify?
I'm not an asshole. I mean, I'm kidding. But yeah, I mean, misconceptions. I think it's pretty much how it is. It's just some dude going on and annoying someone else. At least that's what's trolling to me. It's just like some guy getting on, possibly annoying someone, and just being an idiot. That's so I feel like it's hard to get that misconceived too much.
So, what's one piece of advice you wish you had received when you started all this?
To make the hop over to VR chat earlier, because obviously, like the earlier you get to a game before it blows up, the better. I wish I made the hop earlier, but I was enjoying Gmod so much. Yeah. So I wish like I got advice on what game to hop over to. And just like more advice on, all right, you gotta stay more consistent, because I do think consistency is like one of the biggest part of it.
So, how do you, I suppose, recharge after maybe an intense recording from your videos?
I'd probably get on League of Legends, get pissed off because I'm trash, and then go to bed. But Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes the VR chat, like when I'm done with recording, I'll go like, yeah, I'll just rather hop in a call with friends, talk to them, play some games, or just go to bed. It depends. It depends what day it is.
So, is there anything else you would like to share with our audience about maybe you, your channel, your videos, your experiences, anything at all? Because we are nearing the end.
I definitely think, as I repeated so many times, is just that like I would really recommend for everyone to just give it a shot, like, and really ignore those numbers. Because I'm gonna make a crazy analogy here that views are like crack, because it really is. It's like when I first started on TikTok and everything, I was just like, holy crap, 1 million views. And then you drop down a little because it's hard to pull 1 million views each time, and you just get discouraged, and you're like, yeah, I'm a focus on something else for a while. I would be like, duh, don't get discouraged. Just ignore the views and just keep going, because say one of your videos blows up, all right, they might go back and watch those others, and then the views on those will go up and start a tumble effect. Also, subscribe to me is a big piece of advice I would say too, to help yourself.